The most HVAC companies believe they're growing because the phone is ringing, but if you look at the data, many businesses are actually replacing customers rather than building them. So the repeat service rate KPI reveals the truth. Are customers choosing you again, or are you starting over from zero every month? And so what we're going to do in this data set, and if you want the data set, just let me know with my completed solutions. But what we're going to build from it is how many unique customers did you get, and how many of those customers were a repeat, meaning you serviced them before. And so then we're going to create this, and the blue is going to be the number of customers, and then you have the red as the repeat, and then you have the line as the percentage. And I did this chart only on 2025. You can do it on the whole data set, but if you do it just on 1 year, the problem with doing it from the beginning is it's gonna be a very low repeat rate because you're just starting, right? This is assuming this company started in 23. But here in this data set, pretty straightforward data set. Again, if you want this, there's a link, or you can, to download, or you can shoot me an email. But it's pretty basic. It's just every row is a job done, right? Work order, invoice, service date, customer ID, customer type, and then you have, where they come from as far as the lead source, who's the tech, who's the dispatcher, who's the customer service rep, and then, how much money you made. And so all we have to do here is calculate this right here, which is the end of the month based on the service date. And it's the EOMONTH function, which stands for end of month. Well, that's okay. So equals EOMONTH, and then go over to the service date, comma 0. And then now you can see this is a date. It's formatted as a number, but it's a date. Okay, so now that we have this, we can calculate everything. It's just knowing the formulas, and there is one fairly complex formula, but I'll delete this. So the first thing we need is we need the month, and we need a unique list of what we just did out of the months here. So unique, and then this here. And in this data set, they're in sequential order. If yours are not in sequential order, then you can just sort them. You can use the sort function before the unique. It's not going to change anything here, but if your data is different, then it will sort it large to smallest. Or sorry, smallest to largest. Well, you could also do largest to smallest, but earliest to oldest. Okay, so now we want, customers, and then we want repeat, and then we want a percentage or repeat rate, just like this. So to get the number of unique customers, right? Not overall customers, because you could add 2 jobs for the same customer, but to get unique customers equals filter. So we want to filter out all of these customers, comma, where this service date equals this date here. It's weird how that happens sometimes. It's not showing the full list. Let me see what's going on here. And so from here, what we want to do, let me double check something. Oh, it's not where the service date, it's where the month over here. Because I'm like, what's going on? There's definitely more than one. So it's not service date, it's month. Okay, so now you have a unique or you have the filtered list of that, but we want to make it unique. So we want to remove any duplicate customers. Let me see if I can find some duplicates here. I don't see any off the top, but there are duplicates here. So unique. And now we have a unique list of 65 customers. So then from here, we want to count A. And then you have the unique list of customers. Just double click, and then that fills down. And for this one, I'm just going to copy and paste the formula over here just so I can spend more time explaining it. So what the repeat rate is going to show, I'll just copy this and then put it here. I'll walk you through it. So we're going to filter out, because so let me explain the issue first. So the first issue is that if a customer had multiple rows for the same date, the same job, like different right here. So it'd be different call types on the same data service. You don't want to double count those. And so that this is the way you do it. So what we're doing is we're filtering out any of the customer IDs where the month is this, but we're also this multiplication here is an and operator. It's not or. So and if the service date is greater than the minimum service date. So the minimum service date for the customer is going to be the first date of service. And so we want to make sure that any date that's being captured here is greater than the original date of service. That's how you know if it's a repeat customer. And then this is just saying, the service date, customer ID, because the MINIFS argument is what is the min range, service date, and then what is the criteria range is going to be where the customer ID here, and then the criteria one is here, but you can see because it's greater than. So we want to make sure that the service date is greater than the minimum date for that customer. That makes sense. And so that's what you have here. And then to get the repeat rate, you just divide, double click, press Control Shift 5 to get a percentage. And then now we can create the chart. You can just click anywhere in here, and then the chart will go to Insert, and then Recommended Charts. And then go to All Charts here. And then what you can see is like this is sort of what we want, but it's a little bit different. So we need you to go to Combo, and then Combo is where we get to be a little more creative. Like we can say, okay, for the customers, we want a certain type of chart. But for the repeat column, we want a different type of chart. But what we're going to do here is a clustered column for both of those, and then a line for the rate. But for the rate, we want a secondary axis. We don't want the percentage on the same axis as like the 250, right? You don't want 0.015 on the same axis as 250, because that's how it is now, and you can't see anything. But if you do a secondary axis, you can see over here that now this makes more sense. But what I want to do is I want to only do 2025. And you can see because at the beginning, you're just getting ramped up. I mean, if you want, you could just start, somewhere, say like right here, 2024. So I'll do 2024. And the other one I did 2025. And it's sort of annoying, but you have to go through each part of the chart and change it. So now you have to do the line, make sure it goes down to 2024, which is here, 2024. Here, and then you have to do the other column here, or the blue column here, and then you can get 2024. And so yeah, so that's how you can create the chart. I mean, the hardest part is obviously number one, getting your data structured properly, and then two, doing some of the formulas. This formula here is a little bit complex, and I try to explain it, but if you have any questions, just let me know. But essentially it's saying if the service date is greater than the minimum service date for that customer. And then you get, and that's what this is saying. So in other words, 29 customers for August 23 had a service date greater than the minimum service date that they from the first date of service that they ever had at for your company. Okay, let me do two more things. One, I'm just going to copy and paste this here. And then two, I want to remove the zero. So I'm just going to double click here, and then go to number, make sure it's the three columns, go to the number, and then 0. And now we have that. But yeah, so that's it on this one. If you have any questions, let me just zoom in a little bit. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, questions@databoards. And then if you want this data source here, then just let me know. There's a link, or you can email me. And also if you need some help structuring your data, in a usable format, or getting the KPIs and the visualizations, then again, there's a link to my calendar, or you can shoot me an email. But anyways, that's it for this one, and I'll see you in future videos.